welcome back to Senior Moments. I'm Ashley McEwen. We have Michigan's reverse mortgage specialist Randy Whitmire along with us, and Dr. Mike Osborne of Superior Family Chiropractic Care at 23 in Hayes. And we've given us a wealth of information. Before the break, we were just talking about seniors in particular, and what I hear a lot from my grandma, or you see people with walkers or in wheelchairs, is that they feel they have arthritis, so they can't move as much or they can't exercise as much, and so that's maybe, I know it's not helping if they're not doing anything for movement, but you said it's kind of like a vicious cycle that if they're in pain, they don't want to work out and do things, but what kind of solutions do you have for that?
I think regardless of the situation the person's in, how far removed they are from being well, what have you, there's always room for improvement. I think that even somebody who's way back on that scale, as far as being healthy, there's baby steps that can be taken. And I think that, again, where we get lost is people don't know what to do, okay, and they don't know how to do it, they don't know how to go about it. But I think if they were taught, they can make a huge difference. And you're right, you get in this vicious cycle where it hurts to move, but I know I need to move, okay, but I'm not because it hurts, and this is this downward spiral. But that you can't keep going down there because you sort of know where that road's going. So again, I think that under the right tutelage per se, I think that anybody can make a significant improvement.
You know, and along the same lines too, I want to sort of alleviate some of the fears, apprehensions, and concerns our viewers might have that, you know, if they do have, you know, aches and pains, etc., Dr. Mike is not going to sit there and, you know, all of a sudden, you know, twist you miraculously into shape. It just doesn't work that way. But as he said, everything, you know, begins at the beginning, where you're going to come in there for, you know, a consultation where he's going to go through a very systematic assessment and determine what needs to be done and how to go about doing that. You just don't go in there and, you know, put somebody on the rack and you know, start twisting them around. And you might want to speak to might want to speak to that a little more. And
what we did is when we designed our office, we designed it around, we wanted it to be like a big extended family, and it is. When you walk in our office, it's very comfortable. You immediately feel at home. My staff has been with us forever. And what we do is you're right, Randy. I mean, there's a system that you go through. First thing we do is when the person comes in, there's a real thorough case history. Then there's a consultation. We do an exam, you know, from that point to make sure there's no contraindications and make sure that the person's in the right place and that we can help. At that point, we normally take x-rays if deemed necessary. And then what we do is we set that person up for usually the following day, and we bring that person in to go over the report, and I give them my recommendations and really go from there. But there's a couple different things we're trying to answer. It's like putting together a puzzle when each and every person comes in. First of all, what is the problem? Second of all, how long has it been there? You know, which is huge. And what does the person do when they leave? Are they a couch potato or do they exercise? And then fourth of all is the cost. We don't want anybody to have we don't want any gray area with that. It's very black and white. We let people know up front exactly what the costs are and exactly what we're going to be doing. So because if you look at it, it's really a team effort. So, and we've been doing it that way for years, and it really works out well. People come in. They love being there. We love taking care of them, and it really truly is like a big extended family. Yeah,
I know even people that work here at Shelby TV go to the chiropractor. They just say it's like one of the greatest things ever. You feel like $1 million when you walk out of it. Now you were saying during the break, interesting statistic that the average senior, or is it?
Yes.
The average senior takes 11 to 13 pills.
Once you hit about 62, that seems to be about the average. You're looking at between 11 to 13 different meds that, again, the average person is on. And again, you know, obviously there's a time and place for everything, right. But you know, the end result of that might be, you know, not exactly what you want.
Because when you put anything in, I'm sure it does, each drug does certain things, but I'm sure it has some sort of negative effect when you're taking like that many, or even if you're just taking a couple,
Sure.
that, because the spine is literally like your whole body. If you don't have it, you aren't there.
Right. And the thing is everything, I mean, why the spine's so critical to your health and well-being is everything, who you are runs through that spine. It's literally the communication pathway between your brain and your body, and there's millions and millions of tracks that actually run through that. And let me give you a great example. When you exercise, or when you move, or when you feel good, or when you do something, how do you feel? You feel great. But when you sit all day, how do you feel? You don't feel
like
so.
a big bum.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
feel
exactly.
sort of blah. and
If
it
you
doesn't-
overeat, or if you do anything to excess, obviously,
Right.
there's an equal and opposite reaction.
Absolutely. And what happens is when we move and through motion, stuff like that, what we're doing is we're literally stimulating those, the spine, and we're stimulating the brain through the spine. And what we know, again, is if you have what we call a subluxation, which is a big fancy word for a damaged joint, actually this is the correct one right here. What happens is when these bones become stuck, it literally puts pressure and interferes with function of the spine. So what we do, again, is we actually break those joints down to build them back up to elicit motion, so your body can actually benefit from everything that you do exercise-wise and nutrition.
That's
Great.
interesting.
And just as a general advisory to our viewers out there, that if you are on what you feel are excessive numbers of medications, it's always good for you to consult with your primary care physician, to have a review of those medications to make sure that they are appropriate and proper for you.
I'm sure you have to look at those kinds of things too. You probably have to have a list of what medications they're on.
Sure, without a doubt. I mean, the thing is if we can show that person how to be well and healthy, and we can move that person ahead as far as that's concerned, maybe they can get off some of that those meds, and that's priceless.
Dr. Mike, what have been some of the more unusual cases that you've seen? I don't know if you would like to single out any particular oddities or whatever that obviously ended with a successful outcome.
Sure. Yeah, well, that helps, right? Yeah. I mean, we see newborns to people in their 90s. I mean, we've had babies coming in, that were colicky. Mom, dad didn't know what to do, on their last nerve. We've been able to help. I had one gentleman who was in his 50s who said, "Hey, doc, I want to let you know I'm not wetting the bed anymore." I said, "Well, Ron, you never told me that you were wetting the bed to begin with." He says, "Yeah, since you've been adjusting me, I don't do that anymore." And for years that
Wow.
that was going on. And the thing, but you got to remember about chiropractic, it's not that we're trying to treat any of these particular diseases or what have you. But when you can increase function by taking the pressure off the spine and the nervous system, the body works at a different level, and that's what we're shooting for.
Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't even think of that. Okay, well, we're almost running out of time. Is there a phone number or website they can contact you?
Yes, actually, our phone number is 586-532-7732, and we have a web address. We have a phenomenal website. That address is superiorfamilychiro.com. Again, superiorfamilychiro.com.
Okay, well, I'd like to thank you so much for coming on. You've given us so much information. And Randy, thank you for bringing Mike on. And we will have more guests coming on, of course, so stay tuned for more Senior Moments. Mike also has a few upcoming events, so after the credits run, they'll have a few dates if you want to come and visit Superior Chiropractic Care at 23 in Hayes. So grab a pen and paper, get ready to write this down. And as always, be safe and stay strong.